This is Lucky Charm, and you are now tuned in to Under the Black Rainbow, where we discuss all things LGBTQIAP+. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. It is Thursday. I am exhausted. You can probably hear it in my voice. I am tired. That is T.I. Red. But I'm here. I'm here nonetheless. I got something I want to get up on my chest and talk to you guys about. And it's sort of a very morose story, one that I did not want to talk about, but I felt like it would be a dereliction of duty to have a channel discussing LGBTQIP plus issues, black ones in particular, and not talk about this story. I want to send a special shout out to Angela Yee from the Breakfast Club because she's actually the one who brought this story to my attention. It's one of the podcasts that I listened to. And so she mentioned the story, and I was shocked and appalled by what I heard. Give me just a second here. I just want to pull up my phone here so I can read to you guys directly what I'm talking about. And once I give you the backstory, then we'll talk about it a little bit, and so you guys will get my opinion on it. So anyway, this story, in addition to a shout out from to Angela, I also want to shout out Vibe because after I heard the podcast from the Breakfast Club, I went and did some additional research and I found this story on the Vibe.com. Alright, so I'm just going to read to you guys directly from the Vibe.com, and again, once I've read it, we'll discuss it. Here's the headline: 20-year-old takes his life after being bullied for dating a trans woman. A 20-year-old black male took his life after being a target of relentless bullying because of his relationship with a trans woman. On Wednesday, August 21st, hashtag RIP Reese trended on Twitter after a video of Maurice Willoughby, better known as Reese, was seen being harassed by others in his neighborhood. And this is a quote directly from Reese off of his Facebook page. He says, "Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say about Faith, and Faith is his girlfriend who is of the trans persuasion. I really don't care if she's not passable. I don't care if she wasn't born a woman. She's a woman to me and I love her flaws. That's what makes her Faith. If you heard her story, it's motivating. I'm happy. You should be happy for me. If that doesn't touch you, I don't know what does." That is a direct quote from, and a very poignant and a very intelligent quote. You know, what gets me about this quote, there's a couple things. It's a very powerful statement. You know, when you really start to dissect it and understand what he says here. He says, this is the part that really touched me. She's a woman to me, and I love her flaws. At 20 years old, this young man has the presence of mind to say that at 20 years old. Whether you're trans or cisgendered, this is something I think every woman wants to hear the men say. So I just think it was just an incredible statement. The article goes on to say it's unclear how long Reese and Faith were together, but the young man had her name tattooed on his forehead. He has a tattoo of Faith, I believe, on the left side of his forehead. Maybe it's the right side. Reportedly, the Philadelphia resident battled depression and other mental illnesses, which were only exacerbated by his illness. Reese took to Facebook Live about his relationship, and it merited 15,000 views, as well as many transphobic comments. As well as many transphobic comments. Following the news of Reese's suicide, many took to social media to denounce the harassment he endured by many in his neighborhood. It's too little too late. It's too little too late. Um, that's really just a brief encapsulation of the story. So basically, we have a 20-year-old man out of Philadelphia um, who happened to be in love with a woman who was transgendered, and because of that, he was bullied. Now, the bullying was compounded by the fact that he had mental illness, some mental illnesses. The article doesn't say in particular what those mental illnesses were, whether it was depression, whether it was bipolar. I'm not sure what the medical diagnoses were. So at this point, we can only be speculative in terms of what mental illnesses he suffered from. But what we do know that he suffered from was the malignancy of transphobia and homophobia that is pervasive in the black community. And this young man is no longer here because people just can't mind their own fucking business. Just can't mind their own fucking business and let someone be happy. And it's sad. And it's sad for me, right? Because I'm black, I'm trans. I'm black, I'm trans. You know what I'm saying? But I'm old enough that I don't give a fuck. Okay, you can kiss the blackest part of my ass. I'm doing me. You know, there will be no suicides for me, and that's not um to make it seem as if Marcus was weak for, what he did, but I get it. It's stressful sometimes to have all of these people trying to point the finger at you and judging you for being who you are, as if you're not entitled to live the life that you choose, or in some cases, the life that chose you. And because of that, because of people's lack of understanding, because people are so uneducated, because people are so unwilling to be educated, because people are so deeply rooted in their homophobia, their transphobia, that they would rather stay there and be hateful and be keyboard bullies and go on Twitter or go on Facebook and say horrible things about people that they don't even know. I'm telling you, to be black and LGBTQIAP plus is to be in a perpetual state of cognitive dissonance, in the sense that you're black and you're proud to be black, but at the same time, because you have this LGBTQIAP part of you, you have to some degree separate yourself from the community that you were born into. I love black people. I love being black. I wouldn't be anything else but black. But because I am trans, I do have a tendency to limit my interactions with certain types of black people. Oh, I said it. Oh, yes, I did. I limit my interactions with certain black. And you know what? I'm about to take these gloves off. Give me just 1 second. It's not even. I'm not gonna even try to dress it up and make it PC. I don't associate with hood trash. And I'm not saying everyone from the hood is trash, because there's some cool people, some good people. But I do find that when you are in the hood, you deal with a hood mentality, and the hood is ignorant. The hood is ignorant. I mean, we're talking about people who, fight each other over a pickle. You know what I mean? People, people who will kill each other over 50 cents. And so to be black and trans and to look for understanding and compassion amongst that is really finding a needle in a haystack. And like I said, I don't want to paint all of the people in the hood with a broad brush and say that everyone there is of the same ilk and of the same belief, because they're not. There's good people and bad people everywhere. But I do find that when you go into hood environments, you deal with a hood mentality. And she does not have time for that. Because I don't fight, I shoot. You heard it. I don't fight. I'm too grown for all that fighting. You know what I'm saying? I'm too pretty for all those scratches and bruises and what have you, and getting hair pulled out, on camera. I don't have time for it. I'm gonna shoot your black ass, and I'm going to go about my day and wait for a knock at the door from the police. I did it. I sure did, and I meant it, and I'll do it again. So, not to put the spotlight on me, but it's just sad that because like black people get upset about the most innocuous things, about they want you to boycott Gucci over a sweater that was perceived as blackface. When I looked at the Gucci sweater, I didn't see it as blackface. I saw a black sweater with red lips. That's what I happened to see. Because it didn't look like me. It didn't look like anyone that I knew. Because black people were upset about that, I'm supposed to hop on the bandwagon and champion for over a sweater. While meanwhile in Philadelphia, you have a young man who committed suicide who was bullied. I don't hear Ti talking about that. I don't hear all of these pro-black activists standing up and speaking up about that. People are mad about Jay-Z partnering with the NFL. Jay-Z is alive. Colin Kaepernick is alive. People are so focused on what other people are doing to the black community. What about what black people are doing to themselves? What about what black people are doing to themselves? This homophobia, this rampant homophobia, this rampant transphobia in the black community needs to stop. And the same people who perpetuate this type of ignorance need to be the ones who help to curtail it, the ones who help to change the momentum in terms of the hate that permeates the black community. It's sad. We have a young man who is 20 years old that his world was made, so dark by the people around him, by the people in his own community. And black people are always preaching this stuff about community, 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 brother, 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 brother. But you're only your brother unless you believe, unless you love the same as I do. It's sad. It's sad. And to go back to my point just a few moments ago about associating with people, I tend to have a more inclusive group of friends, black, white, Asian, everything. It's not going to open up today, but I just want to say this, shout out to the Willoughby family. Shout out to Faith. I'm sure she has to be struggling right now. I'm sure she has to be in a dark place. But be proud of the fact that you had a man who loved you and a man who stood up for you, a man who. This man is a man. Let me tell you why this man is a man before I go. I have to say this. Because it is easy to fit in. It is easy to do what everyone else does. It is easy to put your head down and to shrink in a room. But in spite of the fact that he knew that the world around him sent him every message telling him it was not okay to be who he was who he was, and he was unapologetic about it. He was unapologetic about it. And to all the black men out there, to all the men out there who are trans attracted men, to all the men out there who are down low men, afraid to come out and be yourself, I don't want to throw you under the bus, but you too are part of the problem. Living your truth, be yourself. The only reason that because what's so funny is that these people who bully people like Marcus Willoughby don't seem to understand that your brothers are messing with transgender women. Your uncles, in a lot of cases, you probably have messed with transgender women. But because you are so afraid to be yourself, you'd rather participate in the bullying than to be authentic about who it is and what you're really attracted to. Don't be fooled enough don't be fooled to believe that trans women aren't being appreciated, whether it be for their physical attributes or whether it be someone who is genuinely attracted to them. And the men that are attracted to them are people who are directly related to most of you. And so every time you speak up and say some ignorant shit about someone, being born a man or that's a man or, all you do is push the person next to you who may be someone who is of that ilk. You push them further in the closet and let them know that it's not okay to be themselves. That's all you do is you take away a person's permission to live their truth. So I think I've said enough about this issue. Again, shout out to Faith. Shout out to the Willoughby family. Um, I don't even have words to articulate how sad this story makes me. I don't have words to articulate how proud I am and what an example that both Faith and Reset for the world, by living out loud and by being themselves. And even though it cost Reese's life, his death will not be in vain because there are a lot of black men out there, a lot of men out there who watched his story. Some who may be scared, who may have grown afraid by his story, but there are many who will be strengthened by his story. And I hope that people will understand that words do have power. Words definitely have power. And use your words to uplift. Having said that, again, it is Lucky Charm. This is Under the Black Rainbow. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll talk to you guys again soon. Have a good one.